everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to present to you the 170th Akutagawa Prize, the Akutagawa Show, which is the most prestigious Japanese literary prize here in Japan. Now, this is one of my favorite literature prizes because it's a literature prizes that tends to focus on social issues and conditions and problems in Japanese society and puts them in typically really well presented, well written, beautifully written, thrilling little nuggets of literature. And I absolutely love it. Now, also, it's just in general a very prestigious prize to win. Not so much also, well, of course, because you get a lot of notoriety within Japan for winning, but also because if you win the Akutagawa Prize in this day and age, you're pretty much guaranteed to be translated into other languages, which means you're going to gain global notoriety as well. So it's a very important prize to win within Japanese society. Now, I have a whole book that explains more about what it is, about previous winners, why it's important, why I typically love it. I have a whole video about that, so definitely go check it out. But let's get into this. Now, I have mentioned before that Japanese blurbs on books are very poor. Like, there are a lot of times I read a blurb on a Japanese book and I have no idea what the book is about. So I did have to scour the internet for a lot of the information I am going to be presenting to you here. And because of the presentation on all these books, some of them are going to have more information and some will have very little. So it's, you know, I found what I could find, and then I'm presenting to you what I could find basically. So, but let's start with the first nominee. The first nominee was a book called Meisai色の男, which means camouflaged man. This could be camouflage boy or man. It could be camouflage or camouflaged with a D. Just depends on how they decide to translate it. But Camouflage Boy by Andou Jose. Now, this is a book where the Japanese blurb, all it says is that it's a crime thriller dealing with the ever-increasingly feelings of pleasure, fear, discrimination, and violence after a small event occurs. That doesn't really tell you much, okay? Crime, thriller, discrimination, violence, that could be anything. So I had to find a review, and so we are going to thank Yasuo from Amazon for his review, and I'm going to read his paragraph because he gives an excellent summary of the book. It is a strong, impactful, and traumatic work. Our protagonist, who I think it might be unnamed, but our protagonist, a half-black, half-Japanese gay man, is at a gay orgy bar when his boyfriend Ibuki, also a mixed Japanese black man, is attacked by a customer at the bar and nearly dies. Our protagonist decides to take revenge for Ibuki on this closeted world, which is dark, damp, smelly, and sordid. The author's poetic style is beautiful, but if you were to use a color to describe the world, it would be dirty black. The sense of darkness in the world is worthy of an Akutagawa Award nomination. So thank you, Yasuo from Amazon, for your wonderful summary. That was the perfect description of this book. So we're dealing with LGBT, racial hate themes, and we have a protagonist which isn't very often featured in Japanese literature, a half black, half Japanese, also a gay man. And it's very important because the Akutagawa Prize, now lately they have been featuring a lot of works about mixed protagonists or even foreign protagonists. We've definitely had two originally, one Taiwanese, one Chinese. We have had two foreign authors win the Akutagawa Prize. So we're having a lot more diversity in this prize and within the nominees. So it's really exciting that all these new social issues are coming back up because it's very important. So very strong LGBT themes, racial hate themes, which is something that Japan's society has to deal with and accept the fact that these things are happening. So it's very good to have these books that give you that representation. So that's the first book called迷彩色の男, Camouflage Boy. Now, the next book is a book, it's called Blue. It's just in the English word, blue. And this book is by Kawano Megumi. Now, this seems to be another book with LGBT themes. The summary that I was able to do of the book is as such. A high school drama club decides to perform The Princess and the Mermaid, an adaptation of The Little Mermaid. The members were able to use the strength of their quirks and individualities to create the play, and then our protagonist Masago ends up playing the role of the mermaid. However, several years later, the members of the club, now university students, are offered the chance to perform the play again, but Masago, who has stopped trying to live as a girl, can no longer be the mermaid princess. So again, another book with LGBT themes. We're now dealing with a character who is trans. All right, following with that, we have one book that I don't know, it's weird, but it sounds really interesting. The book is called猿の戴冠式, which is the monkey coronation. I even translate into French because I love the French title. It just sounds so regal and like amazing. Le Couronnement du Singe. Like, I love that. I really, really love that. So yeah, the monkey coronation, Saru no Taikanshiki. And this book is by the author Kosagawa Chito. So once again, I'm going to thank an Amazon reviewer for giving a really, really good summary of this. So thank you to Nemimi Neko 800's review on Amazon. I really liked your username. But basically, this review summarizes the book as: the story features Singe, a bonobo monkey in a cage at a zoo, and Shifumi, a human who happens to see the bonobo on TV. Shifumi is a competitive athlete who has been suspended due to a fire caused by a certain incident. She is convinced that this bonobo is the one with whom she can communicate with more than anyone else in the world, and she calls the monkey One-chan, which means sister, and visits the zoo. Basically, this so that's the summary that the reviewer gives. Now, basically, what's important to note is that Shifumi, because of this particular incident, the fire where she's been suspended, has since then become a bit of a hikikomori. Hikikomori is this phenomenon in Japan about typically younger people, but could be middle age as well. But typically a hikikomori is someone who just kind of like refused to go back into society. They stay in their rooms, they don't interact with people, they just don't want to go to school anymore, they don't want to go to work with more, they just don't want to be part of society anymore. And Shifumi, this hikikomori, after she meets the monkey on TV, she decides to meet him. And the thing is that the thing about this monkey that's so special is that this monkey has been able to learn the ability to communicate due to AI. So it's been trained kind of like the gorilla Coco. So this is our protagonist, our young Shifumi, is going through this world where she believes that she can actually communicate with this monkey and have deep thoughts with this monkey. And it kind of creates this atmosphere of sort of just kind of like the boundaries between actual like craziness and like madness, but like deception of self, and whether or not this communication is kind of like all within our protagonist's mind and whatnot. So there's definitely a huge sense of chaos and misdirection that could be coming from this book. So this is the book I'm actually most excited about, and I realized why. Because yes, the summary is fantastic, but there's also another reason. And the thing is, it was when I realized this book that is nominated, this Monkey Coronation book that's nominated, is actually the second work by Kosagawa Chito. And if you think about what her debut work is, you'll be like, oh. And it's this book. Does anybody remember this? If you've been watching my channel for a little while, this book, her debut book, which is called Kateyo Anshin Kofu, which is kind of like it's hard to translate. I don't remember how I translated it back then, but this is her debut work, and the reason this is recognizable because her debut was the book that was nominated for the 167th prize. Right now we're on the 170th. This was for the 167th prize, and this was the book that, even more than the winner, I wanted to read this the most. So 2 books that she's written, and both have been nominated for the Akutagawa Show, the Akutagawa Prize. So it's pretty amazing. So yeah, she's back. Like her crazy works, because like this book, if I remember correctly, because I haven't read it yet. Of course I haven't read it yet. I bought it out of excitement, but I haven't read it yet. But this book was basically about a young woman, a young daughter who has, for some reason, I don't remember why, but she interacts with like these mannequins from like, it's kind of like a gift shop store for like a mine. And these mannequins are dressed as miners, and it's the interaction of the daughter with those mannequins. So yeah, definitely like themes of sort of madness, insanity, like young protagonists who aren't having their emotions properly satisfied by typical means, who are finding slightly who are basically finding other means that are kind of weird, abnormal, not considered normal by regular society, and using those to sort of process their emotions. So yeah, I'm excited about this one. First I'll read this, see if I actually like her writing, but this is the one that most excites me. So that's 猿の戴冠式. Now, the last book I don't have that much information on. The book is called Eisnerweisen, which is just the word Eisnerweisen, which I don't know what that means in German. But this book is by Mita Mira. I think it's the name of a piece. I don't know why I said that. I think it's the name of a piece. But the book is written by Mita Mira, and the only information I got from it was the blurb presented by the actual book itself, which states, Kotone Taguchi, a 32-year-old piano instructor, has been having trouble with her job and her relationship with her boyfriend. Then she meets a friend whom she has not seen for a long time, and the situation takes an unexpected turn. The last sentence of the blurb, kind of weird. It says, the title story depicts a quiet cliffhanger hidden in a quiet everyday life and stirs the heart. So I don't quite know what they mean by the cliffhanger. Does that just mean like an unexpected event when they reunite, an unexpected, maybe something, a forgotten memory or a hidden memory or things like that? Don't quite know what they mean by quiet cliffhanger, but that's basically just the plot of the book. Piano teacher reunites with a friend, situation takes an unexpected turn. Where does the book go from that? I don't know. I don't know what genre this book is called, because especially since the summary says it stirs the heart, it makes me think it's more of a feel-good kind of story, but I really can't tell. So it's all the information I have from that. I couldn't find reviews from people who read the book, or nothing that really gave more information than that. All right, and now let's go to the winner of this year's Akutagawa Prize, the 170th prize. Because yeah, I shouldn't say this year. The winner of the 170th prize is the book called Tokyo. This is hard. It's a bit of a tongue twister. Tokyo to Dojo To. Let me say that again. Tokyo to Dojo To, which has been translated, depending on how you want to translate it, the Tokyo Tower of Sympathy, or Tokyo Sympathy Tower. Just depends on how you want to make it sound. But this book is by the author called Kudan, and it is a novel that centers around the dilemmas of an architect tasked with building a comfortable high-rise prison in Tokyo, where lawbreakers are rehabilitated, and basically it features AI as a theme. So to give Richard Lloyd Perry is a person who is very quite lauded in Japanese society. He's very much involved with Japanese society. He's written quite a bit of nonfiction. I have two right here. People Who Eat Darkness, which is a true crime book, and then Ghost of the Tsunami was a book he wrote about the Fukushima incident and a elementary school within that area that had basically been taken out by the tsunami. But he's a very prominent person, and when he was interviewed about this book, he gave a pretty good summary that I would like to read to you. Set in the near future, Tokyo Sympathy Tower takes place in a society that depends on AI one of its main characters, architect Sarah Makina, designs a tower in Tokyo for the compassionate rehabilitation for criminals, but develops misgivings about the project. Then Richard Lloyd Perry adds, one of the themes of the book is the way that soft and fuzzy words muddle ideas about justice, and it is to reproduce these that Kudan turned. Oh, sorry. Forget that last sentence. Just let me finish it. It's one of the themes of the book is the way that soft and fuzzy words muddle ideas about justice. So this book, I think, also sounds very interesting. I think for me, if I were to choose two books to read from this list, it'd be this one, The Winner, and the one I previously mentioned about the monkey by the other author. Like those are really up my, like, those scream books that I would really, really enjoy. So those are the ones I really, really am most interested about. Now, the thing I want to mention about this book is that there's probably, if any of you just read the news, this actually made even CNN, American CNN, top page because there was a little bit of scandal, not really a scandal, but people make a scandal of anything. But there was a little bit of scandal about this book, which is why it made global headlines, in that the sense that the author, Kudan Rie, used ChatGPT to write part of her book. So the whole scandal was, should that be tolerated? Should that be allowed? Should a book that was written with ChatGPT be even eligible? Now, she writes that, and she confirmed at a press conference that 5% of her book was word for word generated by AI. Now, people who think that's a scandal or who thinks it's scandalous basically are just think that if you write a book, all of it should be written by the author themselves. Otherwise, it's a computer that wrote it. Now, the reason the committee members accepted this was that, yes, if a book had been entirely written by ChatGPT, they would probably have had to deny it. But the fact of the matter is that the way the author uses ChatGPT is in the sense that she would use ChatGPT to help her write the dialogue done by the AI system in the book. So to create that AI voice, she actually used AI itself to be able to use that. So she still fed her original ideas into the ChatGPT and then just use its answers, because that is how an AI would voice. So I think it's a very clever and a very ingenious way of using ChatGPT for her book. It makes sense for the book. And for me personally, I think that just makes it the stronger work that it is. To use a book about AI and you use AI to give the AI a voice, I think that's just really quite ingenious. Kudan herself, the author herself, says that she also turned to AI to discuss subjects in her personal life that she felt she couldn't tell anyone. Such experimentation became fodder for fiction. When the AI did not say what I expected, I sometimes reflected my feelings in the lines of the main character, the author says. So, very, very interesting sounding book. I think it sounds very Akutagawa show, again, because I mentioned it's a prize about current issues, current topics of interest within Japanese society. So again, we had a lot of LGBT themes. We have a lot of themes about, we're going to have a lot of themes about Japanese identity, what's with those half Japanese, half Black characters. We're going to have dealing with racism in society. We also have the theme of hikikomori, which is still a big issue in Japan. And here we're dealing with basically the rise of AI, both in creative topics, but also just in like Japanese society topics. Here it's going to be how it deals with rehabilitation, just like human interaction, human AI interaction. So much to deal with. I think this list of nominees really is a perfect representation of what the Akutagawa show is all about in this present day and age. And I think it's absolutely fabulous. So I'm super, super excited about about the 170th Akutagawa Prize nominees and winner. I'm very, very excited to read that book. I still have to finish the book about the other winner. I know. I still have to finish the book Hunchback. It hasn't been done yet. It will get done. What can I say? I'm been really bad about reading in Japanese, but this just excites me, and this will give me the encouragement to pursue that that hobby, well, not hobby, but that interest yet again. Anyway, that's the conclusion of this year's 170th Akutagawa Show. Congratulations to Kudan and her book Tokyo to Dojo to. Please next time do less of a tongue twister kind of name, please, because that was really hard to read. So yeah, congratulations to Tokyo to Dojo to for winning the Akutagawa Prize, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!